What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is ASAT Studio. In today's tutorial, we're going to be retouching this image, and I'm going to be showing you three techniques you can use in retouching your photos or your images. So let's get started. The first technique is going to focus on the color correction. So color correction. Now, how are we going to correct this? First of all, let's see the colors we want to correct. Take a look at the down part of our neck or the side of our the cheek and the colors in the mid part of our head, which is the nose. They are different. So we're trying to balance these two together. Instead of using frequency separation and doing a frequency separation and having different colors, we can as well do the color correction first before going into frequency separation. So as it's going to make our life easy. So for us to do that, we're not going to use the normal hue and saturation method we normally use, but we can use it as a check layer by opening it up, select this end tool, click on the color you want to correct, and then take this one up. So you can see blues, you can see greens. It simply means the colors are not the same. So let's reset that. I'm going to close it and let's turn it off. So go to select color range, and I'm going to select increase your fuzziness to something like this, and select these eyes. Hold on shift, you can select these eyes as well, and you're going to see those places selected. I'm going to select more of those places so you can see that that selected a lot of places. You can now increase the fuzziness and it's okay. Now it's going to create the marks on the hue and saturation layer. I'm going to turn it on, then double click to open up the layer. I'm going to select this hand tool, and then we use the normal method. So let's select that hand and select this part of our hair, of the skin, and then increase the hue and saturation. Now you can see so many places have been selected, and we are going to focus more on the darker areas alone. So let's try and increase the slider to where we have a fresh selection. So like this, you can take it up and look for more sweet spots, but I guess that's just a sweet spot. Okay, there's another one here, so let's leave it like this. And then this is what we're going to do. Now this selected a lot of places, very good. Okay, so now we're going to make this zero back, and let's try and balance the skin. So increase, I'm focusing more on the cheek now. So increase till you have uniform yellow, just a bit. Sometimes you don't need to increase the hue or toggle the hue. You can increase the lightness as well to make it come out. Let's say a before and then a after. So we're getting there. Let's try and add in some saturation and see how it looks. So we're adding some saturation, we're adding more lightness. I'm just trying to get okay. So this should be okay. Let's not increase that. Okay, so now let's see before. So these are before and then this is our after. So we have before and then after. Well, it doesn't add much to it, but you can see what is being done to the image, addition of lightness. Okay, so I'm going to close it now, and now we can focus more on removing it from where we don't need it. Yeah, I think we needed it everywhere. Okay, so let's grab the brush tool, select the mask, and I'm going to add it. Increase the size of the brush, it's X, and I'm going to add it. This is dark. Let's hit X to get a white. So let's add it to the side and this side. So it won't be so visible. Alright, so now we can focus more on our frequency separation. Okay, so let's create a stem visible layer, Control Shift Alternate E. So now we're going to do frequency separation. So after creating a stem visible layer, I'm going to hit Shift Control J to duplicate it twice and make this color, name it, and name this texture. So I'm going to jump this step because a lot of people know what frequency separation is. So I'm going to turn it off and do this and I come back. Right, so I'm done with my frequency separation, and here is what we have. So I'm going to group the two together and then create a stem visible layer and turn off the rest. So from here to here. Okay, so now we're going to work on the highlight and the shadows. And for us to do that, I'm going to do the dodging and burning. So let's go ahead and do dodging and burning. So grab the curve and I'm going to duplicate it. So one is for dodge, one is for burn. So I'm going to name this down one burn and name the upper one dodge. Dodge, D-O-D-G-E, enter. Okay, so for this one, let's focus on more on this one. We're going to burn it down and take it down. This is for burn. I'm going to turn it off. Take this one, double click, and turn it off. This is for, yeah, dodge. Okay, so I'm going to close it. All right, so now let's start with this. Invert the mask, Control I, and invert the mask, Control I for this one. Let's grab our normal brush to select this layer and begin to draw on the places you know it should be dark. So somewhere like this one, and also I'm going to draw somewhere here and as well somewhere here just to give it definition. Okay, so let's also make it smaller, and I'm going to put more focus on this one like this. Sorry, not on the lips. Yeah, something like this, and more details here. Ctrl Z. Okay, so on the cheek as well there. Where should we put again? So let's just focus on the face. Okay, let's focus more on the face. I'm gonna put one right here. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn on this one, and then I'm gonna focus on the head. So make it bigger and put one right there. Make it smaller and hold down Shift 1 and then hold down Shift 2. Okay, on the cheek, I'm gonna put one right here, put one right here. I'm just gonna do a quick rough job and make this smaller, make this smaller. I'm also gonna put on the highlight of her eyes like this. Put on the highlight of her eyes. Put on the highlight of the lips. I think I've done one right here. Okay, so like this. And we can as well add to the ear and some other places like this to bring out the, okay. And apart from the skin, I'm gonna do some right here, and here, and here. Yeah. Okay, so now we can increase that. Let's increase so it will be visible. All right, so now the next thing to do is to feather it out. I'm going to go ahead, go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. You can do it like that, or let's just use the properties. Go to the properties of the mask. So which is this one? Click the mask and then feather it out. Let's keep on feathering it out, not when you won't see it again. So just small. I guess I'm going to leave it there, and you can zoom out to see if it's there or not. So we have it there, so it's very visible right now. So we can decrease the opacity. All right, so now for this one, let's go ahead, click on the mask property, click on the mask, and then feather it out till you are not able to see it again. So something like this, and let's see. Okay, so we have before and after. Now you can decrease your opacity as well, and hit the two and group it. So we have before and after. So the image is not looking, flat the way it is before. And now one more thing is for the eyes. I'm going to use hue and saturation for that, and I'm going to desaturate and lighten up the eyes. Sorry, let's not use the lightening button. Let's just desaturate for the now, and invert, Control I, and this is just a quick method, and you can just paint on the eyes to remove the other colors that are there. But if you want to do something, okay, you can use the photo filter use the cool filter and also use the black and white, but I just prefer using only this one, dragging it below and then inverting it. And let's go ahead and paint with white too, so it's going to brighten it up. Okay, so now we can go ahead on the hue and saturation and bring things up. So it's just going to brighten up the eyes compared to before. I'm going to group the two together, and there we go, before and after. So let's go to stem visible layer, Control Shift and E, and I'm going to, for last, I'm going to go to camera raw filter. So now the camera raw filter, I'll start with the basic tab and increase the highlight. Let's increase the white. I'm going to bring down the shadows and bring down the black, give it some texture, not too much, just a little bit texture. And we can do some white balance, just create the white balance, and it's going to give it a little touch of white balance. So this is kind of my last step, and sometimes I go to the color mixer and make things look more, but let's just use the calibration, and I do take it back and then take the blue priming forward and then find the sweet spot for the green. I mostly use this method, but sometimes I just find it I just don't want to use it at times, so I'll just leave it like that, and then I can go into the color mixer and go to the orange luminance and make it, come out a bit. And the red, I'm going to make that also darker. Go to the saturation of the red, increase, and go to the hue and make the saturation more, reddish, and then I click OK, and there we go with our final image. So I'm going to turn off this one, and then we have our before and then our after. So thank you guys for watching. Once again, this is a retouching tutorial. This is Acer Studio. See you in your next video. Thank you.